You see their name light up your screen and feel that warmth flood your chest. You type paragraphs, delete them, retype. But when the conversation ends, silence. You think, I should reach out, but your thumb hovers, frozen. What if I'm bothering them? What if they were just being polite? So you wait and wait. You're not alone in this paralysis. This is the psychology of people who never text first. Society calls them disinterested, flaky, bad friends. But psychology reveals something radically different. Some of the most deeply caring people are the ones who can't hit send. It's not apathy keeping your thumb frozen. It's a hypervigilance to rejection so acute it becomes its own prison. For some people, not texting first is just laziness or forgetting. But for you, well, every unopened conversation is a minefield of potential rejection. You're protecting something tender, that fragile belief that you matter to someone. Each unsent message is a shield against the devastation of being too much, too needy, too inconvenient. One dismissive reply could shatter the entire mythology you've built around your worthiness. Not because you're dramatic, but because somewhere along the way, you learned that your presence was conditional, earned only when invited. So why does initiating contact feel so terrifying? Psychologically, people who struggle to text first often experience what's called rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Your nervous system treating social rejection like physical danger. In a 2019 study from UCLA's Social Cognitive Neuroscience Lab found that people with high rejection sensitivity show 73% more activity in the anterior cingulate cortex when anticipating social exclusion, the same brain region that processes physical pain. Your brain isn't overreacting. It's genuinely perceiving the threat of an unanswered text as injury. This isn't weakness or neediness. This is how your nervous system has been wired by every time someone made you feel like reaching out was a burden. But there's something deeper happening. When you do engage in conversation, you're performing, carefully calibrating every word, monitoring tone, ensuring you're entertaining enough, supportive enough, interesting enough to justify the space you're taking up. Out there, you're thoughtful, generous, endlessly available. But the moment the conversation ends is where you finally exhale. Initiating contact means voluntarily stepping back into that performance, spending energy you're already rationing just to get through the day. Every first text costs you something, a piece of your limited reserves poured into the uncertainty of whether you'll be welcomed. And that cost? It's invisible to everyone but you. Here's what most people never admit. Some of the most loyal, most thoughtful, most emotionally intelligent people are the ones who vanish between conversations. Not because they're selfish, not because they don't care, but because they've learned to measure their worth by how little space they occupy in someone else's life. Your silence isn't absence. Look, it's the quietest form of self-protection, a way of loving people from a distance that feels safe enough not to destroy you. But let's be honest. For some, this hesitation comes from childhood, from caregivers who made affection feel earned rather than given, who punished your needs instead of meeting them. If you grew up believing your presence was an imposition, then every text becomes a test of whether you finally become worthy of initiating connection. Ask yourself, does not texting first protect your peace, or does it keep you isolated in old wounds? If it's protection, honor it fiercely. If it's isolation, reach out to someone safe. You deserve support either way. So here's your script for next time. Someone questions why you never reach out first. I care deeply. I just process connection differently. And sometimes initiating feels vulnerable for me. You don't owe anyone an explanation beyond that. Because you can be deeply loving and still need others to meet you halfway. You can care fiercely and still protect your heart from constant auditions for acceptance. Your worth isn't measured in who texts first, but in the depth you bring to every exchange. The late-night voice notes, the remembered details, the showing up when it truly matters. You're not distant. You're wired for depth over frequency, for quality over performance. Are you someone who waits for the text, or someone who's learned to send it anyway despite the fear? Drop it below. I read every comment, and I bet you'll find your people down there. Hit subscribe if you've ever loved people quietly from the safe distance of waiting. Next up, the psychology of people who over-apologize and why sorry has become your survival language.